what do I say? Because here's what I've done so far. I've gotten you over your fear. I've told you what it is. I've told you where to go. But now this is what you're doing. Because you don't know what to say. When it comes to what do you say, that's where you get to the universal icebreaker, which is, what do you do? It's the one question you can ask anybody, okay, and start a conversation. The problem is, how many of you actually have a good answer to this question? Is there anyone in here that if I had all of you stand up and give me a 30-second elevator speech, is there anyone in here that has a really good one that knows exactly what you'd say right now? Okay, appreciate that, thank you. One. Okay, the reason I bring this up, and traditionally this is when people start looking at their phones. Okay, because this makes people uncomfortable. Because we got people in here that have had their businesses forever, they have no idea how to tell people what they do. Okay, so this is what happens. You get uncomfortable and you don't know what to tell people. You get really nervous, you go blah, 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 and people look at you like this. Okay, so we're going to make this real simple. I can't get into any depth in this because this particular workshop is 3 hours on its own.
We have time.
Yeah, some of you are going, okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe next year, we'll talk about that. Okay, so what I want you to do is figure out how you can create an elevator speech. Again, I told you I've written 3 books on this topic. This is one of the books that I've written. Okay, and the dedication to this book is to people that belong to chambers of commerce and associations for being so bad at answering the question, what do you do? So here's what you've got to start to look at. Okay, here's how you could, here is what an elevator speech is meant to do. Number one, it's meant to grab the attention of the listener. If you tell me, if I say, hey, nice to meet you, what do you do? And you tell me, and my look to you when you're done is something like this, that's not a good answer. If you said, oh, I own such and such and so-and-so. No, you got to give me something that's going to grab my attention. And again, I don't have the time, to be able to go over all of this with all of you, but you got to ask the question, what do you do that's going to make people go, wow, I'd like to know more about that. Next thing is you want to engage them in conversation. You want to say to them what you do so they ask for more information. Lastly, it encourages them to want to know more about you. But the simplest way to do this is focus on the benefit you provide. Because what most of you talk about, if I walked up to any of you, said, hi, Dave Sherman, nice to meet you, what do you do? You tell me, and you'd probably tell me the name of your company. You might tell me, where you're located, who some of your customers are, a lot of the kind of validation questions, kind of the credibility questions. Which always kind of surprised me, because why does everybody feel that they have to make themselves credible the first time they meet somebody? Do you think I meet you and you tell me what you do and my first response is I don't believe you? I want you to think about that the next time you start doing credibility responses. Okay, you got to understand, I'll meet any of you, and if you tell me what you do, there's a better than average chance I'm going to take your word for it. Okay, so focus on the benefit. So instead of saying all the stuff that you do, tell me what you do that's going to benefit me. And I'm going to make this really simple. The next time somebody walks up to you, puts their hand out, and go, hi, nice to meet you, what do you do? I want you to stop. I mean a hard stop. And answer the question as if I said to you, what do you do that will directly benefit me? Because I am willing to bet if I ask you that question, your answer will be different. I don't care about all the details yet. I don't care how big you are. I don't care who your customers are. Okay, those are deal closers, not deal openers. I care one thing and one thing only. What do you do that's going to make my life easier? What do you do that's going to make me, earn more money, spend more time with my family, have, make it safer for my employees, whatever the case may be. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, because everybody's looking at this saying, what's in it for me? The person who answers that question fastest wins. Okay, so again, make sure you always focus on the benefit. Now let's very quickly talk about what not to say, because I want to make sure we get this. No company details. I don't care. Okay, I don't care about your current clients. Now, some of you are going, well, Dave, we have some really gigantic current clients. Well, that's fine, but if I'm a small business, the first thought in my head is, oh, if they're dealing with Coke, McDonald's, and IBM, they're too big for me. So be careful. While it sounds really impressive when you're talking about your big clients, it also scares away the smaller fish. Why you do what you do. No offense, I don't care what your passion is. Your passion should be one thing and one thing only: make my life better. I don't care how long you've been doing it. I don't care why you do it. I care one thing. How are you going to make my life easier? How are you going to make my company run better? How are you going to make it safer for my business to continue to do business? Okay? Endless features. Don't give me that. And the last thing, any kind of pitch. Elevator speech is not a place to sell. Remember, this is networking. This is not prospecting. The other things I need you to avoid, okay? TMI. Too much information. Is there anyone in this room that can tell me everything you do in 30 seconds or less? And I mean everything. Good. Don't even try. Because what a lot of you do is when somebody's willing to say, oh, what do you do? And they're really ready to listen, all of you, most of you will try and shove so much information into 30 seconds, by the time you're done, my eyes are rolling in the back of my head. Okay? Be careful how much information you share. TMD, too many details. I don't need to know all the details yet. We're not there yet. Okay, we've just met at this point. I don't need to know all the details. TMBW, too many buzzwords. Are there any particular words that are used in your industry that are very familiar to you that to the rest of us we have no idea what they really stand for? What's one of them? JV. Well, JV, joint venture? Okay, there you go. And you're right, to most people they would not understand that. Some people would think, oh, so you've got a JV team and a varsity team, right? Okay. What else? What are some of the things and words that you guys throw around? Go ahead.
Chip to chip.
Chip to chip. Do you guys know what that means? Okay, good. To me, that means Doritos against Ruffles. Okay, I'm not, I swear to God, I'm sitting here going, chip to chip. I'm taking bowls of chips here. What else?
Less 10%.
There you go. Okay, to you guys, you won't get it. And now some of you are saying, well, Dave, it doesn't matter. I only talk to people that will get it. If that's the case, you're working too hard. If all you do is talk to people that know exactly what you do, your sphere of influence is too small. You got to talk to more people. That's what networking is all about, is having conversations with people so they get an idea of what you do, so they were willing to open up their ideas, using me as the example. You know, I happen to know somebody who owns a business like this or this or this. Let me see if I can put them in touch with you. So be careful to avoid the buzzwords. LL, laundry list. A lot of people will say, well, what to go? Nice to meet you. What do you do? Oh, we do this, and 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 we do this. And then my favorite part is when they go, and by the way, we also do this. If you didn't know, we also do is Greek for please forget everything I've said up to this point. Okay, because what you're doing is you're now throwing in another topic. Okay, so just be careful of giving me too much information. And here are your action steps. Identify your benefits. If you folks walk out of here with, I know I'm giving you a lot of information, and it's just what we do. I got 90 minutes to give you the most I can give you. That's why I want to make sure that as many of you get this deck as possible. But I want you to think about what benefits do you provide? What are the things that you do that make your customers go, that's what I need to have a better business? Okay, create attention grabbers. Practice some more, start sharing your message. All right, we've now talked about what is networking, overcoming your fears, where to go, what to say. Last thing, follow up. How many of you can honestly raise your hand and say you follow up with every single lead you bring in?